Hi everyone, my name is Rhonda Uretzky and I'm here to welcome you to this Monday afternoon session of what we're calling Blissful Warrior Yoga and MyLotusMat, where we're teaching yoga poses and yoga that you can do with your lotus mat and lotus pillow to really enhance the benefits that your body feels. You know, even if you've never done yoga before, but you've always meant to, right? That's what I get from my students who come to yoga, that, wow, it seems like such a good idea, I've always meant to practice. These are the kinds of practices, what we're doing here, that are good for everybody. Doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or an advanced yogi like myself. I have been teaching and practicing yoga for 50 years. I still consider myself a beginner, but these are the kinds of poses. What the yoga that we're doing here is meant to soothe you, body and mind. And everybody, whether you're advanced in your practice or what you consider just coming to the practice of yoga, everybody could use this level of soothing in their lives. So that's what we're here to bring you, and we'll be here on Mondays on or about 12:30 Eastern Time, and we'll spend about a half an hour together where we'll explore how yoga and the lotus mat and lotus pillow can give you this sense of relief in your body and in your life. So, a little about me. My name is Rhonda Uretzky. I have been teaching and practicing yoga for 50 years. So quite a long time, and I still consider myself a beginner. There's just so much to explore in this practice. So I'm here to share with you what I've learned as a teacher and a practitioner over my 50 years. I did write a book called The Blissful Warrior, and this is, again, about my experiences in this beautiful practice called yoga. So let's get started. We're going to start with something called an arrival practice. So welcome, first of all, welcome here. And, oh yes, let us know where you're watching us from by all means. Okay, so an arrival practice. Wherever you are right now, find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor if you'd like. You can sit in a chair. If you want to lie down on the floor or lie down in a bed, that's perfectly fine. This is your arrival practice so that you can be present in a very comfortable way in your body and in your mind. So settle in, make sure you have some water beside you. I'm actually going to take a sip of mine right now. I'm sure you've all heard by now, everybody has heard that drinking a lot of water is really beneficial for you, and so the more you do it, the more benefit you get. And we're going to be encouraging you to stop and sip water anytime you want during this half an hour that we are together. So here you are in your comfortable seated position. Find a place to rest your hands in your lap, on your knees. If you're sitting in a chair, please make sure both of your feet are on the ground. This is a very literal way to ground your energy. So just both feet on the ground, both palms may be settled on your lap. And you can close your eyes or you can keep them open or half mask. We're going to do some deep, mindful breathing. We're going to be breathing in and out through the nose, only you're actually going to pretend that the breath is coming in through this little hole in the back of your throat, and it's going to sound like Darth Vader breathing. Very powerful. All right, let's begin. Inhale, in through your nose, and feel like your ribs are expanding, like a big accordion going out to the sides, really wide, wide open. Hear it in the back of your throat. Pull your collarbones wide as well. And then as you exhale, it's like you're playing this accordion inside your ribs, and you're bringing the ribs slowly back together, hearing that loud ha sound in your throat. And when you're at the bottom of your exhale, just stay here in a pause. Drop your tailbone a little bit, either into the chair or into the ground, and then let your tailbone just slightly curl toward your navel. And again, inhale. Hearing that loud Darth Vader sound in the back of your throat, pull your collarbones wide, open your ribs. Holding it open feels great. And then exhale again. Hearing that loud ha sound in your throat, and just feeling your ribs come together again like the accordion as you let your tailbone drop straight down, and then a little bit of a curl toward your navel. And once again, inhale. Now I'm really going to welcome you because now you are present and we are here in this space together, again, for the next 20 minutes or so, feeling whatever it is that you feel, allowing your body to be part of this feeling experience that you're about to have. So before we begin with poses, I want you to check in on yourself. And I'm going to give you what's called the emotional scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, if 1 is you feel very calm and very chill, no worries on your mind at all, and 10 is the exact opposite. You feel very frantic, maybe your heart's beating fast, you feel kind of panicked or stressed or frenetic about something. Just give yourself a number. And the first number that comes to mind is fine. Don't spend a whole lot of time thinking it through. Just whatever number comes up for you. This is where you're starting. No number is better than any other. This is just a moment of acknowledging where you are. You know, and very strong wisdom coming at you right here. You are where you are. Nothing to validate, nothing to explain, nothing to apologize for. You are where you are, and this is where we begin. Okay, so I'm hoping that you have your lotus mat with you and your lotus pillow. If you don't, not a problem. You can follow along with what I'm doing. You can come back to this video later because it will be saved right here on this Facebook Live page, and you can participate anytime you want. So we're going to be lying down to begin. So if you have your lotus mat, I'm going to show you a really soothing way to lie down on your mat. Settle your hands beside you, not on the lotus mat. Bring your legs out in front of you. Place your palms on your knees and just lightly bounce your knees. So you have this nice sort of bouncing feeling happening here. It should feel very soothing. Good. And learning to sit up with a straight spine without a chair is much easier than you think. You're going to imagine that you're trying to pull your rib cage to your shoulders. You don't even have to think about how you would do it. You just imagine that you want to do it, and your body will fill in the answer for you. So here we are. You're just lightly bouncing your knees. And stop. So once you stop, flex your feet, brace with your arms, palms on your knees, collarbones wide, drop your chin a little bit. Inhale your breath, lifting your ribs. And then as you exhale, you're going to roll yourself down one vertebra at a time. Keep your eyes on your toes. Keep your palms kind of rubbing up your thighs. And you'll bring yourself down one vertebra at a time, very gently, onto your lotus mat. And then adjust your pillow so that it's right under your neck. And here we are in Shavasana pose. Arms at your sides, palms facing up. Heels lightly touching, toes flopped apart. And let's take 3 deep breaths. So your eyes, if your eyes are open, try not to look at your ceiling. Try to keep your eyes looking down the center of your body so you have a lengthening feeling in the back of your neck against that lotus pillow. And let's again take 3 deep breaths. Inhale, the ribs go wide, the collarbones go wide. You're looking down your body. And exhale again, bringing the ribs back in. When you're at the bottom of your breath, you're in your pause. This is a beautiful place to linger. Drop your lower back. Point your tailbone between your outstretched heels. Let it curl just a little toward your navel. Got a little bit of pelvic rocking going on here. Really great for the pelvic floor. And inhale. Again, at the bottom of your exhale, drop your lower back, as if someone has slipped their hand under the small of your back and you're dropping into it. And point your tailbone between your heels and let it have a little curl toward your navel. And one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Really luxuriate in the breath and linger in that pause state at the end of your exhale. Just feel how nice it feels to be sort of floating in between an inhale and an exhale. All right, first pose is windshield wipers. This is one of my favorite poses for soothing the nervous system, and I'll explain how wonderful it is for the hips as well. So as you inhale, roll your knees in towards each other and squeeze your legs together. Sort of imagine that you fit your legs into this very tight spandex. And then bend both knees at the same time. Don't be frustrated if you can only bend one leg at a time, no problem. You're going to lay your toes down on the lotus mat and the balls of your feet and your arches and your heels, and then drop your lower back. Now when your feet are on your lotus mat, and maybe if this is your first time using your lotus mat, you have a little sheet on top of the lotus mat, but maybe not. But either way, try not to dig your feet down or press them hard into the lotus mat. Just let them feel as if they've landed there, kind of gently floating. And inhale, your knees are at center. And then as you exhale, keeping your hips on the lotus mat, keeping your feet, your soles flat on the lotus mat, just let your knees gently fall to the right. So the trick here, or the tip, is to keep your soles flat and to keep both hips square on the mat. Right? Try not to let your feet come up on edge. Try not to let your hip twist up. You're going to keep yourself grounded here. So this is a really nice, gentle pull. And as you inhale again, the knees are at center. And you're looking down towards your knees. As you exhale, just let both knees gently fall to the opposite side. And your focus is on keeping your soles feeling flat against the lotus mat and keeping your hips, both of them, on the lotus mat as well. And again, inhale, knees to center. Be sure to keep tucking your chin, looking toward your knees. Keep your collarbones pulled nice and wide so your shoulder blades stay grounded. And on your next exhale, again, just letting the knees kind of sway. It's not really a pulling. It's definitely not a forcing of the knees to the ground. It's just a gentle sway that allows you to keep both hips on the lotus mat and the soles of both feet nice and flat. Inhale, knees to center. And exhale, and again, just let the knees sway to the opposite side. Watching your knees, keeping your hips down, keeping your soles flat. And on your next inhale, bring your knees back to center, and we're going to settle them there. And just letting them wiggle a little bit. Just a little bit from side to side. Slowing the body down, calming the nervous system. And then when your knees come to their own stop, you'll be in stillness for a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Now that pose is fine for even if you have any issues with your back, any problems, any pain, any issues at all. This next one will be a little bit deeper, so we're going to go particularly gentle on this. And again, this should be good for just about everybody. Of course, if you have problems with your spine and you're working with a doctor, always make sure that these things are okay by your medical professional. So inhale, collarbones wide, knees starting out by pointing to the ceiling. And now as you exhale, let your knees completely fall over to one side. Let your opposite hip roll off the lotus mat. Let your soles come up on edge. So you're sort of on the outside edges of your feet. Keep both shoulder blades on the mat by pulling your collarbones wide. And you're going to feel this very luxurious twist, kind of serpentine twist happening in your spine. Again, there should be no pain, no discomfort. If you've gone too far, your body will let you know. Just bring your knees off the ground a little bit more until you find your comfort place. That is the place where you're getting the most benefit. I know this is contrary to maybe what you've been told in exercise, regular exercise, where you want to push and go for the burn and feel the pain. Just forget all of that. This is about comfort and soothing your way into benefits for body and mind. And now on your next inhale, bring the knees back to center again. Slowly resting your soles on the lotus mat, slowly putting your opposite hip back down. Check that you're glancing at your knees instead of your ceiling, and on your next exhale, let's let the knees fall over to the opposite side. It's wonderful to have the lotus mat and pillow under you as you do this, because you can incrementally feel the soles of your feet coming up on edge, the hip coming off the lotus mat. And we're going to rest here for a moment. Collarbones wide, shoulder blades grounded, chin tucked. And on your next inhale, knees to center again. And on your next exhale, sort of like somebody gave the knees a little push, and now they're falling on their own without you pulling on them or forcing them down or struggling in any way to get the knees closer to the ground. None of that matters. Your soothing is what counts. Your soothing is where you'll find the benefits. And again, these benefits are for body, for stretching and toning, and creating more range of movement, and for your nervous system, for calming, for being in a place of, we call it level-headed, right? But really it's a place of gut feeling, feeling like yourself. And inhale, knees come back to center. And one more time. On your next exhale, just let the knees drop, sway, come over to the side, feeling the soles of your feet disconnect from the lotus mat till they're on edge. Feeling your opposite hip roll, sort of like a little marble. Nice, smooth, rolled feeling. Both shoulder blades grounded, both collarbones pulled nice and wide. Let's linger here for a moment. Take a few breaths and sink into this feeling. I don't know about you, but I feel like I never want to get out of this pose. It just feels so wonderful. And the best way that I can describe how you feel in these kinds of poses is that you feel like yourself again. You begin to recognize yourself. Inhale and bring your knees back to center. Again, no struggle, no effort, nice little swaying feeling. And then as the knees come back to center, you're going to do that little wiggle. Just a slight little wiggle. Think of it as when you are driving a car, and instead of hitting the brake on something, you just take your foot off the gas and let this vehicle roll to a stop on its own. And just take a deep breath now. Inhale. And exhale. And now once again, I'm going to ask you to check in on that emotional scale, or let's call it the comfort scale of 1 to 10. 1 is where you feel extremely comfortable in your body and very relaxed in your mind, and 10 is where you feel very frantic and something is very painful in your body. So just notice what number comes up for you now. If the number didn't change from the start, no problem. If it did, also no problem. You're just noticing where you are and acknowledging, not judging, just accepting. Okay, we're going to do a wonderful pose called Pavanamuktasana. This is a wonderful pose for the hips, for the knees, and for the digestive system. So as you inhale, you're just going to lightly hover your leg over the lotus mat as you bring the leg out straight. And then lay it down and let that right leg relax. Sweep your arms close to your body. Raise your arms up, pulling from the wrists. And then as you inhale, you're going to rise off your heel, arch, ball of the foot, tip of the toe, and bring the knee in so that you can clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the knee. Now, if you are on your lotus mat right now and you feel any undue pressure on your hip because of this position, this is the time to adjust your lotus mat a little bit. Right? Go for feeling relaxed and soothed. Get rid of that no pain, no gain idea. It's a crazy idea. All right. Inhale your breath, shoulders down, elbows in, And as you exhale, just gently move your knee toward your chest. Now, if you were feeling the lotus mat in your lower back or hip, this is going to feel a little bit more like a relief. And then on your next inhale, disengage your fingers, drop your arms in a big thud, and lower the sole of your foot, toes first, lightly, ball of the foot, arch, heel, and then very lightly lay your left leg out straight, and a moment in Shavasana with the heels touching, toes flopped apart, knees and ankles and hips feel like they're splayed open, and you're taking a deep breath. Palms facing up, chin tucked down, collarbones wide. Inhale with the ribs like an accordion, widening out 180 degrees. And exhale again, the ribs come back. Drop your lower back down, point your tailbone toward your heels, and a little curl toward your navel. Okay, opposite leg now. So as you inhale, roll both knees back into center. And lock down on your quads. Then bend your opposite knee. For me, it's going to be the right. Whatever one you did before, you're now doing the opposite. And place your toes, the ball of your foot, the arch of the heel on your lotus mat. Sweep your arms in nice and close to your body. Feel yourself being pulled from the wrists. Tuck your chin. Raise your arms and then begin to raise off your heel. Arch, ball of the foot, tip of the toes. Bring your knee in, clasp all 10 fingers right there about 2 inches below the knee. And let that knee pull forward a little bit so you feel a little drag in your shoulders. Relax your outstretched leg. Glance at your bent knee. Inhale your breath. Now on the exhale, bending your elbows, see if you can nestle both elbows into your waist on either side as you draw that knee, that thigh, close to your chest. And I really like to let you sort of linger here for a moment and just luxuriate in this feeling. And how do you get more of that beautiful stretch, comfort, luxury feeling out of the pose? You breathe. Pull your shoulders down, tuck your chin, nestle your elbows in your waist, relax your outstretched leg. Just scanning your body for all the places where you can get a little more comfort. Remember that comfort is where the benefits arise. Not struggle, not even effort. This beautiful feeling of comfort. And now as you inhale, disengage your fingers, let your arms drop down in a big thud. Your knee is probably going to hang out in space for a moment. And then you'll lower down toes, ball of the foot, arch and heel. And then we'll slide the opposite leg out to meet the heel of the opposite leg. Notice I keep saying opposite leg. I don't know whether you started with the right or left, and it doesn't matter. Take a breath. Inhale. Remembering to hear that loud ha sound in your throat, breathing in and out through the nose and using your rib cage like an accordion. Dropping your lower back as you get to the pause of your exhale, pointing your tailbone and letting it curl up a little toward your navel. Feel that little pelvic rock. Okay, now for both legs. Now this pose is wonderful for the digestive system, particularly the transverse colon. Inhale, roll both knees in. Sweep both arms close. Pulling from your wrists, feeling the drag from your shoulders, feeling the lotus pillow helping to stretch the back of your neck. And as you exhale, bend both knees. Gently place your soles on pulling. And have this wonderful action on your transverse colon. And now inhale and drop your arms to the sides, lower your toes, balls of the feet, arches and heels, and gently slide your legs out into Shavasana. And you stay in Shavasana. I'm actually going to come up for a moment, but stay right where you are and take beautiful deep breaths. So inhale, collarbones nice and wide. ribs nice and wide, hearing that beautiful ha sound in the back of your throat. And then as you exhale once again, playing your ribs like an accordion, bringing the ribs back. Drop your lower back. Point your tailbone between your heels, and then let it bounce slightly toward your navel. All right, and now I'm going to show you how to come up from a lying down pose and get some wonderful benefits for your spine. So I'm going to come back into the lying down pose where you already are. So as you inhale, roll your knees in and sweep your arms close. Bend both knees. Place both soles on your lotus mat, toes first and heels last. Bend your elbows. Place your hands in prayer position in front of your chest. And then rise off your heels and arches. Balls of the feet, tips of the toes, knees to your chest. Tuck your chin to your throat. And as you exhale, slowly, gently, like your whole body is a marble, roll to your right. Take your hands, make a little pillow for under the side of your forehead. Tuck your chin to your throat. Bring your elbow tip completely over your body and onto the floor, and then both elbows towards your navel and both knees towards your elbows. And take a breath right here. Lay your head down. Head is on your hands, but you're not holding your head up. It's letting it rest, tucking your chin. And inhale. And as you exhale, try to imagine what you need to do to get the top of your head to come in through your throat, opening up the neck even more. And now coming into a sitting position as you inhale, turn your palms to the ground. One will be flat, one not so much. But look at the backs of your hands, and as you press yourself up, you can feel this nice little serpentine twist you're getting in your upper body. And then bring yourself back into a comfortable seated position. You know, sitting on the floor is not comfortable for everybody, and you do not have to do it to practice yoga with me. So if you'd like to bring yourself back into a chair or stay in your lying down position, that's perfectly fine as well. So we are at the end of our practice, and I really enjoyed having you here today. Remember that you can return to these videos, watch them anytime you want, and I encourage you to click them on in the background whenever you're feeling stressed. You don't even have to do the poses. You can just listen to the poses, and your mind will get some benefit from the soothing sound of my voice and even the instructions for the body, whether you are doing the poses or not. There are so many ways for you to benefit from this series that we're offering you on Monday, and I encourage you to use them in any way that you feel will benefit you. We also encourage you to come to the comment section here. Tell us what you thought about this practice. Did it help you? How did it soothe you? How did it affect you? And what else would you like to see us address? Even if you have specific body issues, specific issues with stress and anxiety, please comment, and we're going to make these videos personalized to your needs. So I'd like to end this session by reading you a little sequence from my book. I'd like to leave you with a nice thought that will carry you into the day, and hopefully from here forward your day will benefit from this relaxation that you've taken just a half an hour out of your life to do. So here we are at the Blissful Warrior. Okay. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not here to fix anything, not even yourself. You are here to experience everything. You are here to create fun. Okay, I think we might have gone disconnected for just a moment, but we are back. So, you are not an imperfect version of yourself, here to correct. You are one who adds to yourself and to all that is. You are part of a greater, expanding universe, and you are a world unto yourself. You are an invaluable contributor just as you are. Thank you very much for joining me today. I have to tell you in all honesty, I get as much from these sessions as I hope you do. I enjoy practicing with you. I enjoy taking this time in the middle of my day to be with you and to be here in my own practice. Thank you again for the opportunity to bring you these series. Please be sure to comment. Let us know what you'd like us to address, body and mind, and I will see you again next Monday. Have a beautiful day. And by the way, check in on yourself from time to time and notice where you are on that emotional scale, and then just be okay with it. Be well, friends.